Well, got my blood draw done, which went pretty smoothly. My hematocrit was a little higher, 53, which the limit's 54. Last time I was, I think, 50. I think it varies based on how much water I drink. And I didn't have as much water this morning or this afternoon before I donated as I did last time. So I think that's why. I think it basically it dilutes the blood. And so the iron and whatever causes the high level is in a lesser ratio because of water. There's more water in the blood. But anyway, it was good enough. I passed it. Went and tanned. I guess for this time of year, my tan's pretty good. Wouldn't mind being a little darker, but not having a tanning salon in Altoona. I've been thinking about going to fucking Planet at night. Because I have a valid Planet membership. I just don't know if those, it's like the afternoon that jerk off that got me banned. If I wouldn't want to go in there when he was in there, he might try to fucking trespass me or some bullshit. So, but I think like the night staff, I don't think they'd even know me. I'd just check in and tan. Otherwise, once I start making some money, I might get a tanning membership somewhere. But they're fucking so expensive now. Even the cheap beds, they want like $50 a fucking month. They gotta be crazy. It's nuts. I mean, I could see $50 a month for the expensive that are the, high, whatever beds, but fuck, those are like $80 a month. It's ridiculous. Anyway. I don't know if I'll even upload this. Sometimes I like to talk while I drive, It's about 2:45 right now. Get back to Altoona around 3:30. Probably gonna head home and I gotta get some stuff done. I actually got a message they want me to upload a sample video about that job, the cruise line job, man. I just think that would be so fucking cool, especially with our situation. I can just get the fuck away from you and spend 6 months making, even if I made $3,000 a month with no fucking bills. I mean, everything's, eat free. I mean, I would imagine there's a gym. I'd imagine there's, and then who knows, maybe I'll meet somebody that actually cares about me and wants to get to know me. And, one thing about people that cruise, they have some disposable income, There ain't no reason why both of us can't find somebody, you know what I mean? You sure as fuck got yours, so. And honestly, at this point, I hope there's a part of me that can't wait for him to break your fucking heart. And, there's a part of me that's like, well, she did what she thought she had to do to be happy. So, let her be happy. But I will say this, I don't think he gave 2 fucks for what it did to me. Anyway, but sometimes the best thing you can do for something is set it free. And you definitely set me the fuck free, didn't you? And my goal at this point is to flourish one way or the other. Whether it's here in this fucking shithole town or on a cruise ship or on a cruise ship long enough to meet somebody that says, hey, come live with me. There's one thing about people that work on cruise ships, they don't got a real home at home. I mean, they're mobile. They're living on a fucking boat. So you don't even really have to explain it. Anyway, I don't know, but that's not the main thing. It's an experience. It would be a pretty cool fucking experience, I think. As long as I don't get seasick, I think I'll be fine. And I don't know. Speaking of that, I told Carson about it. I said, boy, if it'd be cool. I said, I'm sure you have to at least be 21, but or 18. But I said, you probably have to be 21. But boy, wouldn't it be cool if you got a job on a cruise ship with me, the two of us? We could just fucking, man, that'd be great, you know. Because, and the reason I said that to him was he was saying about maybe coming up in April to visit for a while. Not just me, but he wants to come up and see some friends from high school before they graduate, and you know, and everybody goes off to college and whatever. And but I don't know. I guess his grandmother's giving him shit because I guess she was going to buy a ticket for him, and now she's saying she's, you know, just giving him bullshit about worrying about TSA security and this and that, and that, you know, he said something about the Democrats have like cut back on the TSA and she's worried about terrorist attacks. I'm like, oh my god, she's fucking nuts. I'd be more worried about the TSA sticking a fucking wand up your asshole. See if you got fucking a gun in there or something, you know. Anyway. But yeah, so that'd be cool if he came up. He said he did come visit one time a couple years ago. But it would be cool if he came up. I said, yeah, you can spend one night or whatever you want with me, you know. I mean, it'd be not just cool, it'd be fucking awesome. It'd be awesome. But he was talking about maybe doing that in April, but he said his grandmother told him yesterday no, so I don't know. And who knows? I think his main goal is to see his friends, so who knows if he'll even, how much time he'd make for me, if any. I don't know. But, yeah. Alright, well, I think I'm going to call Greg while I'm driving here. Who knows if you'll watch this or not. I make them, and sometimes I upload them, sometimes I don't. And even when I do, as of the last few weeks, you don't really watch them. Half of them you don't watch at all. Some of them you watch, you know, for, you know, a few minutes. And if you do get on, it's every 3 or 4 days lately, and that may become once a week. And you know, and if I post a video every day, that would mean you'd have to watch 6 or 7 videos, and I know you're not going to do that. So which videos are you going to see? Who knows? I don't know. Alright, well, I do think, you know, you're going through a different pattern. I don't know. For all I know, you know, you're staying nights with him every night now, and staying with him all afternoon. I just noticed that there's some strange things going, you know, I don't know. It's not my OCD and just like why I want to know, because I have no control over it. You said the other day, I said, I don't know why I even care. And you're like, because you want control and you don't have control anymore. Knowing doesn't do shit. It don't control nothing. You know, knowing what you're doing doesn't give me any control at all. It gives me a little information, and information don't do nothing. It's just, I think part of it is that I just, you know, I'm like, okay, well, where is she? Okay, well, she's not at home. Where is she at? And then my brain's like filling in blanks. Well, you know, is she at his house? You know, if this was a once in a week thing, you know, you could be gone and went with your daughter somewhere and went shopping or went whatever. But when it's, you know, every day, you know, then it becomes more obvious that it has to be a man, because you don't hang out. 50-year-old adults don't hang out with each other every day like they did when they were 20-year-old kids or 16-year-old high school kids or whatever. You know, that's not what people do. They have their own lives. They can't hang out with each other day in and day out for 6 hours at a time unless they're fucking. And then they're in a relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. So, you know, and, you know, I already know you're in a relationship, so, you know, despite your denials and absurd fucking, you know, explanations, when you even manage to give an explanation, which most of the time you don't, but, you know, oh, I'm dumpster diving, yeah, okay. I mean, take that fucking dumpster diving and shove it up your ass, you know, really. I haven't seen you anywhere near any of the dumpsters you supposedly dumpster dive at for basically since New Year's Eve. I haven't seen you by any of them. Christmas, you met up with you a couple times, going into, but I haven't seen you anywhere. One time at Weiss, about a month ago, after you were giving blood, and haven't seen you at Goodwill, haven't seen you at any of the dumpsters. I'm not saying you don't dumpster dive, but you ain't doing it from, 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock. Definitely not from 8 to 9. You might be doing it at 7, but you ain't doing it from 8 to 9. So I don't know what you've been doing, but when you've been doing it. And I also suspect you're intentionally doing it at different times because you don't want to see me. And that says a lot, It says enough. And it should be enough for me not to give a fuck and just be like, well, fuck her. Go fuck herself, But I don't know. Something screwed loose in my fucking head that I still give a shit and still wonder about you. And my brain still wants to know what you're up to. And it's not control. I have no, it don't, I mean, if I somehow had a video of everywhere you go, and and I know one night you're going to your girlfriend's, and the next night you're going to his house, and the next night you're going shopping, and the next night to his house, or every night to his house, what you gonna do? I mean, really, ain't gonna do. I might feel worse, but I mean, I don't have any control. It's not like I can say, okay, stop. Now I know that you're with a guy. You have to stop. I ain't gonna do nothing. So it's not about control. I don't know why you would think that, or how you come to that fucking conclusion. Anyway, well, I'm gonna get off here. I want to call my brother and let him know about them messaging me about sending a sample video. I got to figure out what to do with that because I don't know if I even have any. They want like a 10-minute sample mix, so I have to look and see what I have, if anything. Might have to get creative and forge one copy of video from like YouTube and record it on my camera from the TV, and then send it to my, and act like it's mine, basically. All right, well, you have a good one. I don't know what else to say to you. I'll probably upload this, but I doubt you'll even watch it. Because by the time you do check, if you even get back on there and check, there'll be like 10 videos. So, All right, bye.